Dragon Ball is back. The anime, the games, tons more. And we're here to talk about it. Just saying.
Gifted speaker.
Actually, one more comes to mind.
Mom topping me down below. The deep freeze got me out and cold. I keep breathing. Here for good like superheroes, but I still fall victim to all of these demons. Let me see your ass 1-2 step. Talking all that shit, but you ain't come through yet.
Let me see your ass 1-2 step. 1-2 step. 1-2 step.
All my life I wanna date a baddie. Call her Bronny James. She wanna play with daddy. Hold up, pause. Cause the day I give a fuck's a day M has withdrawals. Relapse, give me that, you can't have it all. Guilty conscience trying to get that.
Welcome to, I was going to say the Dragon Ball fan podcast, but just saying, your Dragon Ball fan podcast, where of course, we're talking all things Dragon Ball, and right now there's a lot to talk about. I am joined by the co-host, the Vegeta Glazer himself. We have reppin' Toronto, Sky. How you doing, my guy?
Good, yeah. Repping the best city in the world, you know. We're cooking it up. I'll be honest with you, during half of that intro, I was still listening to the intro on the actual live broadcast, but just vibing out here.
It's so good, though. It's so good.
The last time we've done one of these was, what, like 6 months ago? Because I think we did one live together, actually, at my place, right?
Yeah.
That's what we did?
We didn't do it
6 months
live.
ago? Sorry, not live. We did not. You're right. We did not do it live. That was pre-recorded.
Was the last live we did,
Last year?
was it the Sparking
months.
Zero stream?
No, it was Daima in review, dude.
Diamond review, there you go.
Wow, that's crazy. So that was 10 months ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, the last video that we did was 5 months ago, ranking the Dragon Ball villains, which I actually I went back to that video I think a month or two ago just to rewatch it.
Did
I
you?
thought we did pretty good on that video, to be honest with you. Like,
Mhm.
that's really good. We should do more of those ones too. But what's up, chat? How are you guys doing, bro? It's been on so long.
Right? We got Toby in the chat
Toby,
saying,
the OG?
yo, Toby. I'm trying to remember, what happened with the Dragon Ball game show? Did he win that episode? Who won that episode?
The game show one?
Remember we did the game show one?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember. That's probably because you lost. We got the Quack. The Quack is in the building right now.
Wait, the Quack is here?
The Quack is here,
Yeah.
and he is quacking. And he's quacking.
Holy, bro. A lot of the OGs are here.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see. It's good to see.
We've got Toby, we've got Nick, we've got Quack, and we've got Dragon Ball news. We've got a few.
Nice.
And I think there's going to be something here for everybody. I think, we're excited about a few of the things more than others, and we'll talk about why in a bit. But I think what we'll start off with, Sky, if you're good to do this, let's start talking about the way they opened up, right? They had, of course, it's the 40th anniversary. That's where all of this is stemming from, right? And maybe you could talk to the event a little bit more, Sky. Like, where did they have this panel where they disclose all these updates?
I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know where exactly it was held. I know it was somewhere in Japan, but what I do know is this has been announced for several months now on the exact day and the exact panels being shown on what exact order. So we knew that the super, or at least one of the super announcements, was going to be the first thing being told. So it was so interesting, which we'll talk about soon, that the first announcement we got was arguably the biggest one, because usually they leave that for the end. So that was really, really interesting, to be honest with you.
Yep. And of course, this should work. That should work.
Are you trying to get the panel up going?
Trying to get the panel up going. Here we go. And as this plays in the background, we had this absolutely stunning reel kind of taking us through, Goku's literal beginnings here on planet Vegeta, and then of course the Bardock narrative that sends us off into what we're familiar with in Dragon Ball, and so on and so forth. Sky, for me, and I know you and I locked eyes right away. We were actually at a card locals card tournament we were playing, and Sky made sure that this was up on the TV. And I think the moment I saw Hans Zimmer's name, I was confused and too excited. At first, we were kind of like, is he composing the whole next thing or whatever that is?
Yeah.
It's not, but the video that you're seeing on screen a little bit here is there's a track in it composed, original composition by Hans Zimmer. Unreal composer. I mean, I was gonna say but he's the greatest composer in the film industry. He is.
I mean, and he's also the most well known. Like, you hear Hans Zimmer, like, you don't even need to know about that field, or how, like, anyone else. You know Hans Zimmer usually, right?
You do.
I don't even know that many composers, and I know Hans Zimmer. Like,
you know Hans Zimmer, right? So just a quick second here, right? So of course he's done things like Pirates of the Caribbean, Inception, Dark Knight, Interstellar, The Lion King, just to name a few of them. These are pillars,
this is
right?
Like Mount Rushmore type.
Unbelievable.
Here.
And Sky, what I thought was really, really, also he did Dune recently. What I thought was really interesting, Sky, is that here, and the source is Screen Rant, is what the acclaimed composer had turned down. That's what surprised this person. In 2022, Zimmer said he had turned down offers to compose for the MCU.
Ooh.
And so for him to step up and do this project, obviously we don't know what the obligation looks like. If they were asking him to do maybe one of their series, there's a lot more involved there than doing a 5-minute video. But still really, really cool. And actually here, I have pulled up just his initial statement coming off of that being released. Said, "Happy 40th anniversary of Dragon Ball. It was truly a joy to be part of this special anniversary project. Drawing inspiration from Akira Toriyama's incredible illustrations and the stunning animation in this video, I thoroughly enjoyed composing the music, making it an exciting and unforgettable experience. To Dragon Ball fans around the world, I sincerely hope you're enjoying watching this." How is Hans Zimmer involved at all in Dragon Ball project?
What a crossover, bro. It's actually, and you know what's funny too is that when we were at the card shop playing our tournament, we didn't really get to hear the music, right? Because we're all conversing with each other and stuff. So when I got home and I actually watched the video, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, whoa, this is unreal, right? Like, the music was, I'm like, okay, this makes more sense now. Because I know when I saw some people's reactions to it, they're like, damn, this music's really good. And they find out it's Hans Zimmer, like, what? Like, this makes a lot more sense now.
So cool. Of course, Dragon Ball is such a massive property. It's not that it's like little old Dragon Ball how us, but it's just like different worlds colliding. That just makes it so cool. That's more so what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. It is surprising me that he reached the Dragon Ball market. It's more so that he reached the market as a whole, right? Like, just here, just in the anime sphere, not necessarily Dragon Ball specifically.
And of course, Sky, we get to the end of that video. We have Goku flying up, transitioning into Ultra Instinct, and then it teases us with some language. All right, it starts bringing us through what we've seen lately. Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, going through the movies, right? We got Super in general. After this is Broly. They're going to show us Superhero, then Daima. And then, of course, Sky, a whole new story.
New chapter begins.
A whole new chapter begins. And what is it? They show us this beautiful poster. I mean, an okay poster. Okay poster for the Galactic Patrol.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Sky, I'd love for you to talk to this a little bit more. I'm going to pull up a poster. Go ahead and just talk to, what are we getting here? What does this mean?
This means we're getting the moral arc. If people are unsure of what the Galactic Patrol actually means, this is the prisoner Galactic Patrol arc. The prisoner arc is another thing we used to say. But yeah, this is, in my opinion, the best arc in Super by a pretty big margin. So I've been waiting for this since this has been released. And also, one thing to note, just not only, and we'll talk about this later when we talk about the Beerus stuff going on, but this is a new logo for Dragon Ball Super, with Super being in blue now. instead, almost showing like a new chapter is finally here, something different. I mean, it's everything else is basically the same, but the super is actually in blue now, which is interesting. And
That is interesting.
people did mention that Goku does look a little different here, a little different art. It's more of a modern Goku look, but I like it. I mean, I know some people didn't like it as much. I think it's safe, and I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, it did feel safe, right? Like I will say that, I don't even know if the perspective looks right with where Vegeta is and Goku and looking at the top of the head. I don't love the poster, and even if they at least like animated 5 seconds of something where like the jail cell opens at the Galactic Patrol or like something like that would have been cool, because at this point, like, I don't know, it's like Vegeta striking the exact same pose he's done a million times, but that is so little in compared to how excited I am for this to finally come. And of course, Sky, you know, he pushed the manga on me. I mean, he didn't have to push that hard, but after Tournament of Power, I'm looking for something. And Sky's telling me, you got to continue. The story's there. It's still going. And yeah, I don't know if I'd go as far to say that it's my favorite arc, but it's definitely debatable. And it's something that brings a little different spice, I think, to Dragon Ball. I think we see some new faces, but we also see some familiar ones get some spotlight as well. And I think that's something that Sky really appreciated as well, right, Sky?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys don't know, like, you guys got to start reading it and then go back to watch it, because from what I've been hearing, spoiler alert, that Moro arc will probably be airing around 2028. So this won't be around for quite a while. So I still recommend you go read it and then come back when it eventually becomes anime, because it's gonna be a whole new experience. But I think characters like the Z Fighters getting shine again, 17, 18 together getting shine, and more specifically from the side characters, Majin Buu is a big part of this arc. Like, arguably the third or fourth most important character, especially in the first half of the arc. The second half, you don't see him as much, but in the first half of the arc, like, we're probably going to get around 22 to 24 episodes for the Moro arc. You will probably see a lot of Buu for the first 12 to 15 episodes, for sure. And that was really, really appreciated. I thought they did really, really good on how they tied it into the story.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's really appreciated because, like, we keep, it's funny because now Gohan's starting to get some respect, but since Buu Saga, Buu hasn't really gotten that much. Like, we had one little moment where he got skinny and he sparred with Goku and he looked good, and then that's not true. I guess he did do the Universal Tournament, or what was it called?
He did a sparring tournament with the three brothers, Basil, Dagamo, and I forgot the other one's name.
Right.
But,
but like, there were just too many, like, Buu has to show up at the big moment. He fell asleep. And I cannot wait for this to come to light, because this is literally like some of my favorite Buu stuff. Maybe my favorite Buu stuff. And if they do it justice in the anime, maybe expand on a couple things, draw it out. I mean, the thing is, it's going to be really interesting, Sky, because the pacing is where this all comes into play. You talk about an animated series versus reading a book. How long do they draw on some panels versus others, right? Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see how much screen time that gets and how that looks. But it really fun. I love the way that story arc of Majin Buu kind of ties together with some of the stuff that we've learned back in the Buu Saga, and even some of what we learn. I guess Daima isn't that relevant to it. I guess Daima isn't really that relevant to it. Although you learn a lot about Buu, but you don't, not that part of Buu. More of the Kai side.
Yeah, the Kai side is more from that Buu arc. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just pulled up like the Twitter posts, or the X post, whatever, and it says, this is of course from DB Anime Info, original story and character design by Akira Toriyama, anime Dragon Ball Super Galaxy Patrol.
They messed up on the translation.
Yeah, I guess so. Production confirmed. A teaser visual of Goku and Vegeta standing side by side with the Galactic Patrol mark has been released. Stay tuned for more updates. Now, Sky, before we transition from this point, one question I had for you, and I'm not too clear about. Is this going to be, and do we know, is this going to be in the form of a film, or is this Super continuing as the series?
So this is this will be an anime.
Okay.
This will be an anime just like the Beerus one, and this is exactly why when we go into Beerus, I'll explain more of why I believe we're actually getting everything of Super being remade completely. And once it ties in tomorrow, we will continue on. So a few things I would like to talk about, but I think it makes more sense when we talk about it with the Beerus stuff. But that's why I'm hoping we get some manga updates at least for this year, or else we might be in a 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6, 7 hiatus for animation again if they do not continue the manga very soon. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm excited to hear your thoughts because we are going to bring up the Beerus side of things. This is, for anyone who's not familiar, this is a little bit of what that Billy Goat looks like. We'll transition away, though. I had that as a backup. Here we are. Of course, then we start talking about Dragon Ball Super Beerus. And some people might ask Sky, why are we going back? This is the third time. We had the movie, we had the show, and now we're doing this. Sky, give me a couple of reasons why you think we're going back here.
So I think we're going back because they want to do more of a one-on-one adaptation with the manga specifically, because now that we're heading into the Toyotaro era, though I do not appreciate from Shueisha's side that they're just sticking Akira Toriyama on everything nowadays. I mean, I think it's time we stick Akira Toriyama and Toyotaro on some of the stuff. Like, he isn't in like, we cannot be saying the Galactic Patrol is completely Akira Toriyama's project, literally because Akira Toriyama stated that Toyotaro made the whole arc with just a few things edited through Toriyama. So the vision was actually Toyotaro. I just don't like it because I know the intent is just to grab people in because of Akira Toriyama's name. We all know how phenomenal and how great Akira Toriyama is. We do not need a reminder of how great he is. We know how great he is.
Right.
So I just think we need to give more shine to Toyotaro. So that was a little bit annoying for me that they just kept slapping Akira Toriyama on everything. But I think they're trying to do a one-on-one with the manga. And also, which the reason why they're naming this Beerus now, and this is what I'm really excited about. And I haven't heard too many people talk about this yet, or at least in the spaces that I've been conversing with other people on. But Beerus in the anime and in the movie was clearly weirdly like retconned throughout the story. So he in the movie uses 80% of his power against Goku. Against Super Saiyan God Goku, mind you. Right? By the time they reach the Universe 6-7 arc, Goku is using Kaioken Super Saiyan Blue. Times 20. To me, if my math is correct, that means he would have been able to beat Beerus by the time he was versing Hit. Which would also entail that Hit probably could have beaten Beerus as well at that point, which obviously makes no sense, right? Because we look at Super as Beerus kind of being the end game opponent for Goku at some point in time, right? Or at least, like, if it's not the end game opponent, it's an opponent that Goku finally beats at the end of the series, just so we get that clarification that he is finally beaten it. That's all. It doesn't have to be in spite of him. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm trying to kill him off or anything. It's just we spar or we go full out, and I have actually beaten Beerus, and there's respect between the two, right?
Yeah.
I'm cool with that too. But the fact that there's like so much inconsistencies in the anime as well. I think the anime Beerus looked a little bit better than in the movie, if I remember correctly. I'm actually gonna go back and rewatch all of Super again, and read all of Super again. I've actually finished the Moral arc today. I read it again today, all of it.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was fun. And so I think what they're trying to do is scale Beerus to where he's actually going to be. So my prediction for this, because we are confirmed that Dragon Ball Super Beerus is animated. It's going to start the remake of Super, and it's going to be 6 episodes. So what I'm hoping yes. So what I'm hoping from these 6 episodes is that we get a Beerus that is toying with Goku, but is appreciating how strong Goku has gotten after he gets Super Saiyan God, and then showcases a little bit of what he's really capable of, and Goku stands no chance at all. That's what I'm hoping for. The only issue that Battle of Gods now has to deal with, or this Dragon Ball Super Beerus, is how it concludes. Because the only reason why Beerus does not end up destroying Earth is because he became weaker and he's whatever, right? I don't understand how that's even possible when you just first Super Saiyan.
But that wasn't what it was. Like, I know, I hear you, and that's what he's, I must be spent from the battle.
Fair enough,
But realistically, it's even hinted from Whis that it's like, you just didn't want to do it.
You just didn't want to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
But that is true. That is true. Honestly, good point. That's probably what it was. But maybe just make it less about that and just be like, listen, I respect you. I would like to come back and see you maybe in a year's time or 2 years' time for development. If you still can't beat me at that point, I will destroy Earth. But during that process, we get Universe 6, 7 before those 2 years happen. We get Goku handshaking Zeno, and Beerus is like, what the fuck you doing? And we get that whole little weird trifecta with the three where it's like, okay, Beerus is worried about Zeno, but Goku has good relations with Zeno. So Beerus is kind of just like, okay, Goku's a nutcase, and I don't know why I'm hanging out with him, but he ends up enjoying his character. I mean, it's hard to not love Goku, right? So maybe that whole thing transitions in the matter of time before they're supposed to have their quote-unquote rematch. But I'll be honest with you, when I first saw that we were getting a Battle of Gods remake specifically, I was like, I don't know. And then I saw the title come up, and I saw that was Beerus. I'm like, okay, you've got my attention again, because now we're I hope we get more of Beerus's perspective. I hope we get him a bit more on his planet before he even reaches Goku. That would be awesome. Maybe a bit more origins of his race specifically. That would be cool too, because we know that him and Champa are related, but they're in different universes. How are they put there? Where's their planet? Right? All that kind of stuff. Like Kakume, for example, just quickly, just reference Kakume. Kakume had Beerus's quote-unquote planet, right? And Champa was there with him. I would like something like that. Maybe not in the movie, but kind of hinted in the movie would be really good. But I just think this whole super thing is happening so that we can actually power scale Beerus specifically, because he's the biggest, like, question mark and very inconsistent part in the series. Where it's like, how strong is he really?
Yeah.
Like, MUI Goku should be able to destroy him by the time, right, when it reaches tournament power, but we don't know. So I more so think that they're just trying to make it so there's less plot holes, and so when they transition completely to moral arc, they will polish it up even more and change it up from the manga too a little bit, just to make it more complete and pass it on. So, and then the only last thing I'll just say quickly, because I've been going on a tangent, but is that I think this will help newer and the younger audience climb into the Dragon Ball fandom, because a lot of them don't watch Dragon Ball at all. So this would be a good way to get some new people in, because a lot of us now are at least in their young 20s minimum, right? When Super came out, a lot of people when they're 15, 16, they started watching it. And the oldest are like fucking, 70, 80. They still kicking it with Dragon Ball, of course, right? So yeah, it'd be nice to get some new fans in here as well, with new modern animation, of course.
Yeah, I think one other thing too that's gonna really help us create this like definitive version of this Battle of Gods saga, or you can call it the Beerus saga. Now moving forward, is everything we learned in Daima, right? Like I know you and me have talked about this offline, but especially now with Daima existing, like people who are rolling into the series, to your point, are likely going to start from Daima and then roll into Super, because that's a direct one into one, right? So I do think that they will sprinkle in a few things here and there. I don't think that they're going to all of a sudden bake Super Saiyan 4 or Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta into the series moving forward. I do think they are going to wink towards why that's not available to them anymore.
Yeah.
It kind of has to be, and I think those are things there. And also to your point around the power scaling with Beerus, like the whole part of Super that makes it for me so exciting is the scale being increased. We're talking about not just the universe, we're talking about multiple universes, and Beerus is suggested to be one of, if not the strongest gods of destruction. So it's kind of weird for us to be in a place where like Goku's maybe stronger than all of the gods already. It's kind of weird too. So I'm excited, man, to see how they transition this stuff. And I were you saying that they've already animated? I mean, obviously we have a trailer. They've already animated most of it, or?
Well, that's what it seems to be, right? Because it's coming out in the fall, and I know for a lot of the production side of things is like it's mostly now just polishing, figuring out music, probably backgrounds, probably getting. I mean, I know Sean Schemmel actually he reacted to the whole reveal thing, and he was so excited because he's like, "Yes, finally, finally!" So he, of course, he didn't know yet. Well, at least that's what he told us, right? But that's pretty accurate. A lot of voice actors and actresses don't actually know the job they're getting into until they get a phone call and being like, "Listen, you're back. Like, you ready for this?" And Sean's constantly talked about how he's ready. He's just waiting for the call. So yeah, I guess now it's just waiting because we know he's gonna be good. Duh. But like, yeah, now he's just really excited, waiting for the call, and I'm sure they'll get the English voice actors and actresses going into it in the next couple months as well, getting ready for that for that production too. But yeah, I guess now it's just maybe just polishing up maybe some music and probably still animation too, right? They probably haven't finished completely everything. So
right.
Well, we know it's coming out in fall.
Last question now I have before we transition from Beerus is, did they put a date on Galactic Patrol?
No.
Okay. So yeah, I think this is where you were going earlier, but like it definitely makes sense that they're doing this and then they're going to say, cool, next saga is coming out, and then we end up at Galactic Control? Or are we going to skip, like, is Beerus just like one course correction and then we're going to skip? How are they going to do this?
I think we're getting remake all the way through, and there was a leak that stated the exact amount of episodes per arc, and so far he's gotten it right. He said that there was going to be a whole remake, and he said that the Battle of Gods remake would be 6 episodes, which has already been confirmed to be 6 episodes. So I think that his might be correct, and it's 80 episodes total, which would mean that there's what, 20? There's almost 50 episodes short now from previously. So
is that it?
That might be the thing. The only thing, I'll be honest with you, the only thing I'm not looking forward to, I'm gonna tell you straight up, Resurrection of F, bro. I'm not looking forward to that. Like, because I know they're not gonna change. Like, it's too drastic of a change to the story if Vegeta's the one who ends him, and I know they won't change that. I know they won't. They might make it look better for Vegeta when he's beating down Frieza, but I know for a fact they will not change. The person to beat Frieza was Vegeta. They won't do that. I know that it's just too drastic of a change. You're completely changing the character to end it, right? So to me, I know they won't do that. So I gotta watch that stupid shit again because I know I'm gonna watch it because I'm a Dragon Ball fan, to just see some differences and how it's animated. But honestly, I just wanted to go to Battle of Gods and then straight to Universe 6, Universe 7, bro. Just bring me to hit because that arc had horrible animation back then in Super. It was so bad. So I just need that.
Yeah.
I just need that well animated.
Here's the thing. I do think that they are going to do something to redeem Vegeta's... I mean, it's not even like Vegeta made a mistake. Well, he did, but it was... Anyways, I do think they'll do something. I would love for it to be, instead of Goku charging in with a Ki Blast, him yelling to Vegeta to finish it. That would be a cool, easy, like, just yell, finish him now! And then boom, he killed him. That would be cool. But some of the worst animated stuff in all of Dragon Ball is in the Resurrection F side. Not necessarily the film, but in the anime.
Yeah, it is.
And there is some pretty poor stuff also in the Goku Black side, and to see that also get some TLC would be nice. Of course, there are some details in the arc, in the story itself, that would be nice for them to revisit. But to your point earlier, there's only so much you can do before you're making really big changes to what the original like.
And will they do that?
Arc narrative was. Will they? Probably.
Will they be safe? Probably.
Yeah. Now, of course, that wasn't the only big update we got. We heard about a new video game, Sky, and this is one that took me by surprise because in the weeks leading up, in the months leading up, we talked about this has got to be Xenoverse 3. I mean, at least from my perspective, I really thought that was it.
You got cooked.
Yeah. I mean, it was either going to be that or a follow-up to the Fighter Z, like, flat panel one-on-one fighter. Like, for the competitive scene.
Yeah.
But I really thought, because in today's day and age, we're still getting tons of players in Xenoverse 2, and it feels clunky to play. It does not feel great to play, especially now that we're spoiled with Sparking Zero and mechanics of that. So I thought, hey, that's probably going to be it, but that's not what we get. We get Age 1000 Sky, and Age 1000, we don't have that much info about. All we know is that it's a whole new story with all new characters. All, of course, it's like, you were talking about this earlier, it's like how the trend of this was made gluten-free, and they put that on every box, even if the original recipe never had gluten in it, but they just put it to put it. All brought to life by Akira Toriyama. We're going to continue to see his name on everything for years to come still, because that's just, they want to lead with that promotional like banner, I guess. But anyways, I'm happy about it. The man's a legend and can't be touched. But all new characters, story, it says it's set for 2027 now. So this has to be the next project. There's nothing in 2026. There can't be. It's just like updates to what's existing, right? And is Fighter Z going to keep getting support? Probably, if Xenoverse has been getting support till now, and there's a competitive scene around that. So I guess that fits the bill. Sparking Zero, we'll talk about it. I don't know how much of a commitment there is around the game in the back end, because I was expecting bigger updates. But anyways, we are here with Age 1000, not to skip ahead. Are you excited? Like, what are your initial thoughts on Age 1000?
I'm not really excited, I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't really give a shit.
Okay.
I just, the character doesn't look that cool to me. I think I just skimmed through the trailer back when it was actually live, being played. So I don't really know too much about it, but from what I do know, it doesn't interest me that much. I think Xenoverse 3 would have interested me a little bit. I'm not you know what the thing is like I'm not big on, like, there's a lot of Dragon Ball games that don't like bring me in as they used to at least. Like, I played a lot of Xenoverse, not 2, a lot of the first Xenoverse, but I was also like 16 when that came out. So I had more time on my hands, and I just kind of whatever. But Xenoverse 2, I didn't really get to play. I heard some cool things about it. So I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm going to give Xenoverse 3 a shot. But it didn't come out. So now we're like, okay, whatever. I guess I play Xenoverse 2 now, maybe. Maybe I'll check it out. I might do that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really... I mean, I could change my mind, right? Once we get more updates on the actual game, maybe I'll start liking it. But as of right now, I don't really care that much. I'll be honest. You guys want my honest opinion, right? So.
Okay. So one thing I'm curious about. Design original characters. So for Xenoverse 1 and 2, Akira designed the original characters. Is it possible that these characters were... we've seen one character. There's mention of new characters, new story. Is it possible, Sky, and give me like the percentage chance, that Age 1000 is a project name for Xenoverse 3, and that this character is like your main guide through the game?
But didn't we get gameplay on this game?
No, we didn't get anything. All we get is... Here we go. Watch this be some turn-based thing, I swear.
Oh, I like that, actually. I would like that.
That would be actually kind of cool.
If it was turn-based, like, yeah, I would actually like that.
So, yeah, like, this isn't gameplay. It's just like a cinematic trailer.
Ooh, if it was like
Persona.
It looks good.
Oh,
it was
Persona.
Like Persona. Ooh, that would be actually... I would be so down for that, actually. Now you got my attention.
Give us Dragon Ball Persona, please.
Oh, yeah. Okay. If that were the case, then they cook. They cook.
And here's the thing. We talk about Squadra. We talk about the TCG. We talk about Sparking Zero, Fighter Z. They're hitting all of these like core gaming pillars, but they don't have a turn-based game.
From my knowledge, yeah.
Maybe that's the gap. Maybe that's how they fill that gap. I don't know, but I'm really, really interested. I'm wondering these new characters, like if these are actually like the main characters we play as, are there going to be any moments where we play as characters we know? Or is this going to be a game where straight up you are not once playing as Goku? You are not once playing as one of the lead characters or creating your own. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a bold approach, and I can see them doing it only because they made Breakers. Only because they made a game about being a human around all this shit. So
I mean, yeah, and they made Squadra, right? They made a MOBA game too. That's pretty out of it for them too.
That's pretty out of it too, and that's a great game. Me and Sky have been loving that.
Yeah, I like it. I have fun with it. To watch is a different story, but to play is.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go super quick on Sparking Zero, and then Sky is gonna take us into some of that Fusion World stuff that we're excited about. So Sparking Zero, wanted to bring this up because it came out last year. It's still a fairly recent property. Not a whole lot coming in, but basically they're reorganizing the menu a little bit. There's going to be a new game mode called Mission 100, which is ultimately like 100 new custom battles. If you've played the game, you know you can make your own custom battles with unique narrative things and whatever. Yeah. And I'm sure it'll be a little bit more fleshed out, but that's kind of how it looks to me. They've just created some new stuff, and then they've added some new difficulty to the game. I guess for some people it wasn't difficult enough, so they've added an ultra, or an ultra above super, and then when you're creating your own custom battle, you can now increase the difficulty of the CPUs. The last thing the other things that they mentioned is that there will be new stages. I haven't seen anything around what those stages are. And we're getting a few new characters. So we're getting Super 17. That's awesome. Okay. We're getting Super Saiyan Bardock, or Bardock in general. And then we're getting Demon King Piccolo. That is the coolest one. That we're actually getting Demon King Piccolo.
That's cool.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. Like, did you expect, like, what were your expectations knowing that they would probably touch on Sparking Zero? And did they exceed or disappoint you on that?
Well, from some people that I have listened to, they're actually pretty excited about this. Just because they're viewing this as the actual launch of Sparking Zero.
Yeah.
And so they think from here on out, it's going to go on the upward trajectory. So, I guess, like, for example, like, shoutouts to Toon Rami. Like, last night he was saying how he's pretty excited for this. He thinks it's like basically the start of Sparking Zero, basically, and the previous stuff was just like for people wanted an early access kind of thing. So this is actually going to be the start of the real game. So I hope that's the case, because Sparking Zero was pretty popular for the first month, and then it kind of just went like this really fast, really fast. I believe like we have so many different Dragon Ball games that are way more popular than Sparking Zero right now, including Xenoverse 2, Dokkan, for example. I think those two are the most biggest games right now for Dragon Ball. So like, I don't know, man. It's I'm hoping it's gonna be good. I know that like these stages things, are these like story mode missions? What is that exactly?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like they're
just more content.
Yeah, just more content, and that's like one of the biggest complaints that I know people had, was that like you finish your story mode sequences with Goku and Gohan and whatever, and then they're just like, there is online without netcode is kind of like, it's hard for that to be a competitive space, and then like with everything else, it was fun, but just not enough to keep you going throughout the year. Like, it's not a game that you can just, like, you're not going to sink 300 hours into it.
It's not your main game. It's like a game that you play sometimes. Got some friends over, sure, let's set up some Sparking Zero. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's okay, but like when you're playing with a bunch of friends, and even after that, after like an hour or two of gameplay, you're kind of like, okay, I think I'm kind of done. Which wasn't the case with Budokai, right? Like Budokai, you can be on that all day, like, you know what I mean? So and it was simpler. There was less things to do, but it was more because the combat felt more. What's the best way to put it? Like, I feel like Sparking Zero's combat system is very beginner friendly, and there's not much of a ceiling. It's kind of just there's a high floor and a very low ceiling kind of thing. And then you just pick a really good character. You can kind of just do whatever the fuck you want to do. But hey, I could be wrong. But that's just what it feels like to me. It just feels like it's pretty simple combat, and a lot of people want to be able to be rewarded for playing the game longer and being able to show new tricks to other people. And that's why I think there's not really a big competitive scene for Sparking Zero, because it's just there's not much like dynamic in the combat system too. So I don't know if there's ways to change things like that, but that's just how I felt, especially even when we got the release trailer for it. I was like, the combat looks cool, but it seems very arcade-ish, where it's just like, yeah, let's just hang around, fuck around with some friends, very
Mash
casual
buttons.
and no competitive scene. And I think that kind of hurts a game that's supposed to be the new Budokai. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is like you referenced back in the day with Budokai 3. Like, we have to be fair as well in admitting that like the demand for our attention, that was the Dragon Ball game that was out.
Yeah.
Now we're spoiled. And not just with Dragon Ball, but with like other animes games, with other games in general. If you're on Xbox Game Pass, then you know the Netflix of today, you have access to so many games. Like, the demand for our attention is higher than ever.
Yeah.
And so you really do need to create a system for keeping players there. I want to shout out Quack, who had a few things he mentioned. He did say this way earlier, so I apologize, but 18 is his baby girl. He has told us that. So we'll see what Krillin has to say about that. But, you know, I'm going to have to let my bald brethren know. He says, when we get to the Tournament of Power, we will get Beerus versus the other gods. It's going to be crazy. That actually needs to happen.
They better adapt that shit. Like, I will be so upset they do not do that.
And Sky, we're here talking about the importance of them, like, addressing the power scaling in the Beerus series, Battle of God Saga, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think having that moment of him fighting the other gods is like an important piece to remind the viewer of how powerful Beerus is.
Exactly.
Right? Because we're going so long without getting that touch point.
It just made like, again, it just made no sense before. Like, even when people were watching the movie at first glance, it's like, if you really think about it, we looked at it and we didn't like process what the fuck was going on. Like, he literally two-tapped Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now, you could say, oh yeah, but then he got a new form, it's a god form. I'm like, okay, so you're telling me this Super Saiyan god form is that much, and I'm talking that much stronger than Super Saiyan 3, to the point where he's actually fighting back against the guy that you just saw hit Goku twice and almost killed him, by the way. He was almost dead on the floor. King Kai literally tells Vegeta that. So, I don't know, man. Like, it's just very inconsistent. You can't tell me a form does that much, because if it does that much, then we can also speculate that Super Saiyan Blue went that much higher than Super Saiyan God, where it would mean that Beerus was no longer stronger than Goku. But instead, Beerus is supposed to still be stronger, even though he used 80%. So again, very inconsistent. And that's why I want that to be... I don't want Beerus at all to give a percentage. Please, do not give a percentage. Just say... I'm okay with him saying, listen, I didn't even use half of my power during this fight, but you know what? That's not bad for you, right? That's not bad for a mortal like you or something. Some shit like that. Like, that would be cool, because it's like, okay, he didn't even use half of it, and we know he's getting Blue Kaioken, Ultra Instinct signed, and Master Ultra Instinct. Fair enough. So, that's okay. I'm okay with that. But don't give me this 80% thing again, because then what's the point of doing this remake?
Yeah, I wonder if they do put a number on it, or do suggest kind of what that scale looks like, or if they are super general. Last comment I think that Quack said was just DBZ will DBFZ, so Fighter Z will get Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku in April. Nuts, these games are still getting updates. Really happy for them, though. Now, Sky, last thing we have to talk about is Fusion World. Of course, you and me. A couple duelists out here. I don't know if duelist is the right term, but I'm going to use it.
I mean, I guess we could use it.
We could use that, right? Of course, we had a tournament over the weekend. That's where we saw I placed 8th. Just saying. Sky, where did you place in the tournament?
For that one, I think I placed 5th. But
you won the night before.
Yes, sir. I played a troll. Dude, I played a troll deck, man, on day 2, but it was still fun. I had a great time. I played Ginyu, your favorite, on day 2. Oh, he's such a fun deck, though. But yeah, I played him on day 2. Day 1, I played Kid Buu, which got nerfed and got some bans on his thing. But if you deck build correctly, it's a pretty good deck.
Now, of course, one of the things that they did at the event is they revealed some of the cards, but they actually did pack opens, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Sky, you sent over some of these assets, and so I'm going to pull up, let me hide this, and I'm just going to have these kind of running in the background, but walk us through some of these God Rares and which ones you think might kind of be standouts for this next set.
Yeah, just send me it so I know which ones you're talking about first, sorry. But in the meantime, I don't know if you guys saw in the Discord, but I did get this Vegeta rated recently. And yeah, that's the goal right now, is to get a bunch of alt art Vegeta cards and get them all graded for personal collection. That'd be really nice. But yeah. Definitely collect Fusion World if you're interested in some different ways of collecting Dragon Ball product. I know a lot of people like what's it called? Figurines and stuff like that. Funko Pops, those are also very, very cool. But yeah, as for the God Rares for Fusion World, yeah, so as you can see from the slideshow, it's basically a Gogeta set for the most part, but the 5 leaders are Super Gogeta from the Janemba movie, the Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta from the Broly movie, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta from the Shadow Dragons arc. And the other 2 leaders are Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku when he's versing Jiren, and Beast Gohan, obviously, during the superhero movie. So the God Rares, as you can see, you see the leader there, Goku. Yeah, that's MUI. That's a God Rare. That's a leader card. That's the first time in Fusion World that we're getting leaders as God Rares.
Okay.
And usually in each set we get about 1 to 2 God Rares, but this set we're getting 5. So, which is pretty good for collectors as well. If you're not only interested in playing, but you're just interested in collecting, do not scalp though, please. Don't be that.
Please.
Don't be that guy. But on a real note though, if you're a Dragon Ball fan and you want to collect, definitely this is definite product you should pick up. It comes out on March 13th, so you can pick those up probably at your. I think you can also get them on Amazon if that's more convenient for you. Just make sure you're getting from a safe provider, of course. You don't want things to be delivered in anything you buy, right? Online in poor fashion. But yeah, so there's 5 God Rares. There's a bunch of new alternate art cards with a bunch of like interesting backgrounds in them. There's also an anniversary set coming out, a second anniversary set, which I didn't actually send to you, Mike. That's my fault. But if you, I'll actually post it in the Discord later on after the stream. But it has basically like a deck box that's gold, and it comes with like those top loaders. And the top loader actually has a shiny part where it shows Awaken on it, so it gives a little flashy touch to your leader. So even if you don't have an alternate art leader, it'll make your regular art leader look a lot better too. So that's really cool as well. But yeah, I think everyone's really excited for this, and Fusion World's actually been on the up in the last month or 2. People have actually been buying a lot more product. I don't know if it's because of what's been going on with the One Piece TCG specifically, because that's been kind of in a really bad spiral right now, unfortunately.
Is that because of the cost?
The cost. There's a lot of scalpers right now, and a certain individual, which we will not name now, but started buying these boxes, so it's getting.
We will not say Logan Paul's name. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, no, but yeah, the Logan Paul effect just happened again. He did the same thing with the Pokemon cards back in like 2020 during COVID. But yeah, that's kind of happening with One Piece, and it's weird because ever since that whole thing has happened the past couple weeks, Fusion World's market has been going up, but it's not going to the point where it's unhealthy. It's actually going to the point where it's actually benefiting the card game now, as people are able to get cards out and selling. Because there's some cards that I just don't need that I can get some money off of, or trade for cards that I do need. And yeah, it's just a lot easier to do that as well. So yeah, I would recommend if you're a collector, picking this setup. Also, there are 2 new starter decks. Again, I didn't say any of this too, but those are 2 starter decks coming out as well in the same time, and these starter decks are actually straight out the box competitive. These will be straight out the box competitive. You can buy 2 of them and you're ready to go. So even if you don't want to get a whole box but you still want to know how to play the game, there will be starter decks at your local shop too, which is Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the Janemba movie, and it'll be Namek Goku as well, which is cool. So,
do you know what colors those are?
Yeah, so the Namek Goku will be black, and the Super Saiyan 3 Goku will be yellow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. That is really exciting. I've flipped through the card art here. As you can tell, like Sky mentioned, even if you're just a collector, these cards are gorgeous, and they've cooked the whole time. Every set has had just beautiful cards. It's kind of like the main reason that brought me in, but then the game itself is so much fun. Sky is someone who's loved playing competitive at locals with different card games and stuff, and he's said that this is his favorite. This is his go-to. So it has not just because of the IP, but it's just a fun game to play. They've really nailed it. I think there's got a good balance to it. It's not, if you're someone who's new and not too familiar, it's not going to bring that like overly complicated Yu-Gi-Oh side to it. Yet it's I'd say as it's evolving now, it's evolving to be slightly more sophisticated than just like a game of Crazy Eights. You know what I mean? So, not slightly, more sophisticated than that. But like the effects are starting to expand out. We're starting to add new things like evolve, and it's just adding some layers. But it's still very attainable. And if you spend an hour, you'll understand how to play the game.
Sure.
So, I'd recommend it. I'm someone who's never done like a locals tournament. Grew up loving Yu-Gi-Oh and playing that. Never did it, but it was Dragon Ball Fusion World that brought me out to my first 2. So hopefully that says something.
Of course.
Sky, we've gone over, I believe, everything.
I think we have, yeah.
Yeah. Any last remarks? Like, I guess, any quick hot take you want to leave the chat with, just to get them steamy before we leave?
I don't think I got any, really. I think
Okay.
this is just going to be Dragon Ball's year. I know that Beerus comes out in the fall.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that we get enough information throughout that we can make content for, and we can all just as a community get excited for. And yeah, I guess in the meantime, we kind of just hoping for a manga update as well, which would be nice.
Yeah, that's the thing we didn't get. I think that was probably the biggest disappointment of the whole thing.
There's no manga
Not even
update.
yeah. I wonder why. Like, that's where my brain just goes off on 100 directions, and I'm not trying to prolong the podcast too much, but like, is it that they're concerned about how to move forward without Akira? Because they shouldn't be that concerned. Like, as you mentioned earlier, like sorry.
you fused them together.
Fusion! They've been doing... Akira hasn't been, like, at the helm of... I mean, Daima aside, he hasn't really been at the helm of the story. He really hasn't been. He's been approving. He's been doing artwork. But they shouldn't be that concerned with how to move forward. So I wonder... I just wonder. Like, I know it's also such a massive IP.
Yeah.
So that adds weight to it. Why do you think, I guess, as like that closeout point, why do you think they didn't say anything about the manga?
Well, because I know Toyotaro's working on an anime in July for Dragon Ball. So I'll just get that up real quick. But yeah, he is working on something specifically with an old character from Dragon Ball. I think he's doing something with Commander Red from Red Ribbon Army. He's doing an interesting thing. Yeah, so Let's see, where is it? I guess he's doing something. I forgot what it was, but yeah, he's doing something with Commander Red in July. It's like a short, like one take, I think it is. So I'm hoping that after that, we get an update. So maybe after Beerus is done, those 6 episodes, we might get something, and maybe even in Battle Hour in April we get something.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
Oh, I'm excited. I mean, the Commander Red, that just speaks to me because we've had podcasts in the past around, like, if they were to do something that was off the beaten path, what would that look like? And we're so excited about the idea of, like, a Z Fighter series specifically on those guys, or some of those guys going through, some of those teenage years of Goten and Trunks. Like, there's so many fun ways they could take it in spin-offs, not as a replacement, but as spin-off series. So to see that they're open to it and exploring that makes me really excited for what could come with Dragon Ball for sure, Sky.
Yeah.
Of course, this has been the Just Saying podcast, your Dragon Ball podcast. Your Dragon Ball podcast. So much to look forward to. Sky said this is the year. I think there's definitely a lot to suggest that it is. So definitely keep tuned with us, through us. We aim to be making more of these. So keep an eye out on Discord. If you're not already there, then definitely join us. We'll have the link down in the description. There's so much more to dive into around the updates that we've heard. There's more info to be given, so definitely join our Discord for the up to the minute update, because everyone's really good about sharing on there. Sky, thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate it. You didn't glaze Vegeta once, which is kind of crazy.
Okay.
That's kind of crazy. I guess he's still dripping wet from the last episode, but just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, join us on the Discord, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much.
Gifted speaker.
Actually, one more comes to mind.
I'm topping you down below. The deep freeze got me out and cold. I keep breathing. Here for good like superheroes, but I still fall victim to all of these demons. Let me see your ass 1-2 step. Talking all that shit, but you ain't come through yet.
Let me see your ass 1-2 step. 1-2 step. 1-2 step.
All my life I wanna date a baddie. Call her Bronny James, she wanna play with daddy. Hold up, pause. Cause the day I give a fuck's a day M has withdrawals. Relapse, give me that, you can't have it all. Guilty conscience trying to get that.